Yes, thank you, Dr. Ashish. So, hello everyone. So, there was one question I remember in the WhatsApp group about unstandardized and standardized coefficients. So, what I understood from the question, I can tell you that. So, as more questions come in, let us look at this one. So, unstandardized and standardized coefficients, when we do regression, we know that we get the coefficients as Dr. Ashish also demonstrated, and you must have found out when you must have tried this. Even what the paper Dr. Shelja did share with you regarding linear regression. So standard is these coefficients are there, mentioned there, and it tells actually how many units the outcome or the dependent variable will change depending upon one unit change in the predictor or the covariates or the independent variables. So when you do simple regression, when only one variable, one independent variable is put in, you get the raw analysis, and that is your unstandardized coefficient, the that you get. Once you start building multiple linear regression, you have more than one independent variable. And when you have more than one independent variable, what happens is we start comparing between two variables, the effect of independent variable x1 and independent variable x2. So when we have this particular thing that we have two independent variables or more, and we have to see which is having more weight and which is having less weight. So this standardization comes in. Now, what is standardization? Standardization is basically when if you see this example like age and a number of children and some other thing. So when you have multiple variables, independent variables, they have different units. Because of different units, so their weights change. For example, if you are measuring something in grams and something in kilograms and something in years and something in some other units are used, so comparison becomes difficult. And it's difficult to compare years and grams and kilograms. So it is important to make each variable, convert or transform each variable into unit free values. And when you make unit free values, then they can be compared with each other. And that is the basis of standardization. The most common form of standardization that we see is that if we have a variable data for a particular variable, the standard normal thing that we use, the z scores that we say, we from each value of that variable we subtract the mean, and then we divide it by standard deviation. So that makes it unit free. So this particular thing is useful. So standardized coefficients, so when we have multiple independent variables, the standardized coefficients come in. And when we talk of reporting, whether we should report unstandardized or standardized, basically reporting in the journal depends upon the journal. The journals have their policy, what they prefer to be for reporting. And but it is always better that we do univariate analysis, and we see the coefficients, and then we do the linear regression, multiple linear regression, and then we see the standardized coefficients, and we present both in the tables that we give for linear regression. That is advisable at the as the first step. If the journal says that you remove this particular thing, this is not needed in some cases, then you remove it. That is easy. But if we only make a table in which we only give the multiple linear regression coefficients related to that, And if it is asked later on that you present that also, the unstandardized and uh, coefficients, at that time it becomes difficult. Then you have to redo the analysis or add on those values and then present your findings. So this is in a short nutshell about this. Dr. Venkat has mentioned something here in the chat box. Let's say weight is predicted from height. Let us have abdominal circumference as the third variable. Yeah, right. So abdominal circumference can affect the influence of height on weight. Is it possible for the third variable to have both properties of collinearity and effect measure modifier? How can we assess the degree of third variable's influence in terms of collinearity and effect modifier, right? So actually, there are two things. One is the when we have more than one variable, so the other variable, so one we keep it as the main predictor variable, and then you have other covariates. Now that covariate can act in two ways. We say basically one is it can act as a confounder, or it can act as an effect modifier. So in this case, there are when we use this regression analysis, this regression analysis like multiple linear regression or even multiple logistic regression, these regression models, they take care of the confounders. But when we have to take care of the effect modifiers, at that time, as Dr. Ashish was mentioning, there comes the thing of interaction. Now, effect modification is also how do we know that this is modifying the effect or not? One important thing is the background knowledge that we have about pathways. Now, when we talk about pathways, then again there are different analytical methods for that mediation analysis kind of things. But if we have some knowledge about the background of how things are working, how variables are interacting with each other and influencing the outcome, then we can use the this what we say, we combine the two factors, and we interaction component can come in and we can do that. But confounding, when we say confounding is taken care of by regression, that is for sure. So when you are, so the one particular variable is not having an effect on the other variable, that particular thing. Another way to remove the effect of confounding is in categorical variables, basically, that we use the method of stratification. We stratify the data, and we in both the groups we see the for example, if smoking is an interaction, smoking is a confounder, then we do separate analysis in smokers, we between the outcome and the predictor, and in the non-smokers we do the separate analysis, and we see whether the effect size is different or same, has it changed. So this is how we can basically adjust for confounding in a by stratification. But a further advanced technique, now we have softwares and all, so now we use regression for that. But effect modification will require interaction terminologies to be put in the regression model.
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Amir. Confounding and removal of confounding is the major thrust of entire biostats exercise. And removal of confounding happens at every step while designing a study, while conducting a study, while analyzing the data, while interpreting the data. So at every step, you have to be familiar with confounding and what is happening. And again, as Dr. Amir was talking, that we have to be aware of the background knowledge, and we have to be familiar with the variables that are there in our data to be able to develop which one is going to be an effect measure modifier, which one is going to be a confounder. And once again, I would refer you back to one of my videos on handling of variables and tips on handling variables, where I have talked about directed acyclic graphs, DAGs, which are an important tool which you should have in your armamentarium while designing research studies.